Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first scene. Well, yeah, the first scene in Changeling. I know we had a scene the other day, but that was a chrysalis and not really the first scene because it was only one person that was there. So, today in this scene, everyone's been enjoying their day. The weather is nice, it's peaceful. Birds are singing in the background. It's going well. There's been a rumor that, well, it's not so much a rumor, but Baroness Ayala, forgot her name for a moment there, that was bad, has a request that she'd like to make of any changeling who is amenable to it. From what she said, it's going to be an adventure, though more of an investigation. There have been other changelings, who have talked and spoken about how they don't really want to do that sort of thing, given the rumors about the Baroness, how she is affiliated with the Shadow Court, and how she murdered the previous Baron, Baron Roderick, and took over his barony. No one knows if she is actually a part of the Shadow Court or not. No one has found any definite proof, though it has definitely sullied her reputation. She doesn't really seem to care, though. No one's made any political moves to try to topple her, nor threatened her with battle yet, so she doesn't really care. That does not change the fact that she's invited anyone who would be interested in an investigation to appear at her barony.
And whereabouts is her barony?
I don't know the outline of Dublin, but it's in Dublin.
I think Stephen was very, very antsy to have the changelings have a large presence at Howth, which is a very small satellite town outside Dublin. It's on a lovely peninsula and has a lot of touristy water sites and stuff. Yeah, helpful.
Oh, and she's also giving out a nice reward. She hasn't told anyone what it is yet, but she's giving out a reward to those who decide to come and help her.
Azalea will go because she likes adventure. She's an issue. That's what we do. We adventure. She's a fellow baroness. She will come to her aid, having her crew drop her off. She will make her way into said barony, if that's where we're meeting her.
Yes, at her barony.
And I will arrive at the destined place at the destined time using the most convenient mode of transportation.
Probably bus.
Okay.
But you get there. And I will wait till everyone appears to start describing. Actually, no, I'll go ahead and describe her freehold. It's what you would expect from a bookworm. It's very large, and it looks from the outside like a very large library. When you walk inside, you don't really see anybody, though. It smells like old books, and there are tables and chairs everywhere, but no one's here, except for one old lady sitting behind the receptionist desk. Everyone can clearly see that she's a boggin, and when everyone walks in, She just kind of smiles and motions for them to sit down at one of the mini tables in the room.
I'll go next. First of all, am I feeling the call?
Your birth rate?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So it's not happening yet, so I'm not feeling the compulsion. So, the sound of a rather beefy motorcycle will be heard outside the holding as a woman wearing black riding leathers with a black helmet with silver studs on the leather will ride up and climb off. For those who are, should I just describe how it looks in the dreaming? Because that's how everybody's going to see her, right? Kim?
Yes, sorry.
Should I just okay. You'll hear the sound of a horse and the clomping of hooves as a rider approaches, surrounded by a kind of miasmatic mist. It's very black and smoky. The rider is wearing a very 18th century rider's dress, black with silver accents. Will climb off holding her head in one arm. I'll go ahead and put up the picture. She's not wearing the armor. She's wearing something similar as a dress, but not the armor. She will approach the entrance to the freehold to see if they will bar her from entering.
No one's gonna bar you. You actually don't see anyone outside.
Oh, okay. Then we'll head inside, walk into the table area. We'll then sit down and then set her head down. She'll then pull out a thermos and a very extreme-looking bendy straw that she'll then stick in the thermos and stick the other end in her lips and start drinking hot cocoa.
The Boggin is giving you a very, very odd look, but they're polite enough not to say anything.
Oh dear, this is going to end sideways. At this point, there will be the. Is it a gravel? Is it a gravel driveway, or is it like tarmac, or what is it?
It's concrete.
Okay, you'll hear the clip of boots on the concrete outside as you see this lovely individual marching towards the building. He's flanked on both of his sides by a really big guy who is dressed in basically House Baylor colors, has his face hidden behind a mask. Smaller guy, also a much smaller girl, also dressed in House Baylor colors, who has a mask on and their hands behind their back, as he will calmly stride into the room. My. Oh, it's so quaint. I utterly adore it. Oh, look at the boggin. Oh. He'll walk forward and kind of he'll lean in very close to the boggin and he'll say, "And what's your name, little one?"
Who's he speaking to again? Sorry.
The boggin behind the desk.
She looks up from her work and kind of pushes her glasses onto the bridge of her nose. She'll say, I'm Samantha. And you are?
I was going to say Kim. If you'd said Margaret, I would currently be biting for that tongue.
Motherfucker.
I promised I'd do it.
Her name is May anyway.
He will smile with very, very, pointed she features. You don't know me.
No, sir, I'm afraid I don't.
You kind of get that anime eye twitch. You know, the one that you get right before right before the storm, as he says, "Oh, how very disappointing! And I've come all this way to see your beloved mistress. Where are my manners? Allow me to do the formal introductions." By the way, Kim, am I naming my own father, or are you naming him?
But you go ahead and name them. I don't have anything planned.
Okay, that's fair. He will say, "My name is Ashrin Felhat ap Baelor, son of Dalrin ap Baelor, King of Ulster and savior of the Dark Eye. Inform your mistress that I'm here."
You rolled your tongue a lot when you said that dude's name. I didn't hear a damn thing.
Sorry, I'll start. I'll tone the accent down.
No,
He
it's
said,
fine. It was just kind of like I didn't hear the name.
"Oh, Ashrin Felhart ap Baelor, son of Thalrin ap Baelor, King of Ulster," and he gave another title like Protector of the Dark Eye or something like that.
Okay. Okay. Her eyes kind of go wide, and she rushes off to go get the Baroness. And as she's doing that, the others can keep coming in.
All right.
She's-
Well, Thane will approach. He's approaching on foot. Been assigned to check out this request out of the curiosity of his boss. He's wearing the colors of House Scathach and a symbol indicating the barony of Octavius Dougal. He is a pretty large fellow, and his skin seems to be unusual even for a troll. On his back, he is carrying a large case. It looks like it would kind of look like a hard guitar case, only it's thicker. Like it's carrying something much heavier than a guitar. You look around and nod to the boggin and with a slight amount of respect, and stand over against a wall and lean against it while watching the room, waiting for more information on the request.
Oh, just so everybody knows, there is black smoke roiling around my character.
And there's a peg-legged pirate woman standing there.
Crib, as he is known, is sitting off to the tables. His coat, or maybe it's his hair, you can't quite tell, of rose and thorn and ivy sits flowing over his head, draped down around his arms. It smells lightly of fresh cut grass and honeysuckle. And looking at all of the books, and takes in the sight of is the writer. Is her head on her lap? Is it next?
It's on the
her?
table.
It's on a
The
table.
table itself. Yeah.
Okay. Just kind of looking at the unusual sight.
Oh, and the eyes
that it
aren't
has.
actually yellow; they glow like deathlight.
Okay. The just his clothing, what you can see of his immortal clothing from under his chimerical cloak headdress is kind of raggedy and a little beat up. Just looking at each person as they come in and making mental notes of colors and symbols and important names were spoken with very rolly tongues.
Rolly tongues! For the record, if you've ever been to Antrim or the Northern Ireland, that is 100% how they sound. It's really fucking irritating.
No, haven't. But good to know.
Okay, who's next?
Hell with it, I'll go. Just for fun, we'll say this. There was another person in the library, but they're probably in another part of the library. You see them kind of turn a corner, and she almost looks at the time as she's putting up one of the books. They're a kind of a, you can tell that they have a famine on, and they haven't seemed to have noticed any of you yet. Their pupils kind of look like something's weird going on, like it's kind of voidic. Her whole cloak that she has on seems to be made out of dark matter and stars, and she mostly just almost seems to be kind of looking left and right, noticing that there are a lot more of these changeling types coming in, and she's actually going to start heading towards the door. Try to mask herself a little bit.
You know, at this point, what do we call him? I can brain my own character's name when I have to. Ashran very calmly is kind of circling around on his boot heel, so he can take it all in. As he turns to the much smaller and obviously female of his masked attendants and says, "This is quite lovely, if incredibly provincial. We should get more bookshelves. Make a note of that."
She scribbles a note down.
How very interesting. He stalks forward away from his two minders or whatever they are, and he says he's going to stalk straight towards the Gilly-Doo as he quirks his head to one side. "I haven't seen one of you in a very long time."
And the Yieldu will kind of narrow their eyes and kind of tilt the head to the side, look, crashing up and down. I haven't seen those colors in a very long time.
Oh. He will calmly stroke the serpent emblazoned on his chest as he says, "I do hope that they don't bring bad memories."
They are but memories. Time clouds all things.
What is it the folk of the Grey World say? That time inevitably heals all wounds. I've often wondered if that is true.
It's not.
My. So these are the changelings of Dublin. I'm so bemused, as I say. So what do we have here? A Death Rider. One of the guardians of the forest. He's casually letting his gaze drift around.
Blythe is going to put the caps on her straw, close up her thermos, put both away in her pack, and then she's going to lift her head up and is going to look around briefly, then look to the door, then look back to the boggin and set her head back down.
Eventually, not too long passes, and then this woman walks into the room, very regal and wearing a beautiful suit. Not so much a dress, you can see it's a casual business suit. She walks in, looks at the Eshu who's trying to leave, or is making their way out to leave, and says, "Where are you going, dear?"
She'll look and she'll say, "Looks like I accidentally stayed after hours. I was gonna be heading home."
No, it's fine. Do stay,
it not-
I insist.
Does it not even know how to speak to one of the blood?
Huh? Look, I don't know what's fully going on with all this stuff yet, so I best get back to my education at home.
But are you not curious as to what happened to that boggin you were so fondly speaking of just a few days ago? The one that was here at your chrysalis.
She kind of contemplates and says, "All right."
Good. Then sit. Then she turns to...
Wait, Kim, can I get some clarification? That was what I've heard about this rumor?
Probably not. You heard about the rumor for investigation. You haven't heard about this Baroness.
All right. Well, she'll take a seat somewhere.
Wonderful. She kind of slowly turns and looks at Evan's character, because I can't remember the name. She sort of bows. Says, "My apologies for making you wait so long, Prince."
There's a very casual shrug as he extends his hand to her.
She'll take it.
He will lean down and kiss it very softly, just above the knuckle on the ring finger. However, to wait for such radiance is often acceptable, as beauty is not an instantaneous thing, my Lady Baron.
She smiles and says, "Your words flatter me. Now, I believe you came here for a reason."
Oh, merely that we have heard so many dark tales of late. There are rumors in the north. Terrible things, you understand. We merely wish to ensure that these are simply not the case, and that our brothers and sisters here in Leinster are safe, happy, and secure.
Of course. We wouldn't want this to end up as your father's kingdom, now would we?
There's a very casual shrug. Though I'm amazed that you let that one, he will say with that, he will gesture at Adam. I don't know your character's name. We're bad at this. Names are a thing.
Well, she didn't say her name. You don't know what her name is.
No, I'm more saying because Evan doesn't know how to address you other than Adam's character. He said,
Veda is her name.
Veda. He will gesture at Veda and he will say, I'm surprised you let that one speak to you with such impertinence. It didn't even bow.
She just kind of has like a, I don't know what the heck you're even talking about, like look on her face.
Did you not just hear me speak about how she just recently had her chrysalis? The Duke spoke to her just 2 days ago. I was going to let it slide this one time.
There's a very slow nod. He says, difference of opinion then. You know how it is that in our realm that would be treated.
Of course. And that is why so many leave your kingdom and come here.
There's, what can only be described as the she insult bitchery is going on now.
Veda in her
smile.
head is, are these people serious?
I'm led to understand that rats will often flee. Mind you, then again, ships are hardly sinking.
What you might call rats, I would call potential.
Didn't Nazis use the term rats?
Did it speak addressing me?
She kind of has this confused look. Where are the both of you?
Kim, right into your face, looking at you, not looking at the side. Did it speak addressing me?
Ayala will just kind of shrug and then kind of look around at everyone and say, no. I believe she was addressing the room. There was no intended target to this question. Was there, Miss Veda?
Yeah, you pretty much got it right.
Ayala will turn back to Evan's character and just kind of smirk.
He will wear a look of mild bemusement on his face. Actually, Kim, what is the appearance of this character?
She has appearance 6 with a specialty in a noble bearing.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes.
He will smile at her. There might even be a flicker of desire hidden behind those very red crimson eyes. As he says, I leave this to your wisdom, my lady. After all, she is your chattel to punish.
Of course.
Just so you know, Kimberly, when you look at Tane, he does show you the appropriate measure of respect to a baron that's not his baron.
Okay.
He'll give you the appropriate bow.
She nods, acknowledging him. You said he was leaning up against a wall, right?
Yeah, he'll stand up, give the appropriate, and then lean back again.
Yeah. The little boggin from before will just kind of walk up to you and just kind of whisper, very loud whisper, because she is very short and you're very tall, and she's just kind of like, you can take a seat if you wish.
Well, thank you. I'm perfectly fine for the moment. Thank you.
She nods. And then just kind of walks back into a corner. Ayala will then completely dismiss Ashran.
Just get my name. I was going to say, just get my name right once, Kim. Thank you. That's all I ask.
Shut up. I had to look on your character sheet, but I got it. She'll just kind of completely dismiss Ashran and look towards the assembled group and say, now, if I'm correct, I believe you all are here because there was an investigation, an adventure that I spread rumors about, correct?
Blythe will pick up her head and make it nod, and then set her head back down.
By the way, Kim, I have the antithesis abuse of authority. If either of two of these she here start doing stuff, let me know if I take penalty.
I got you.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, why did you do this, Adam? Oh,
Because
God.
it makes sense for the character.
Yeah, Evan's character will probably just like end up sending yours into banality and an imbalance, but that's
Yeah. In which case, I'll probably get the fuck out of here if that happens.
Out of character, I'm more worried about people triggering my antithesis.
everybody in this venue chose such interesting, shall we say, antitheses.
Explain how it doesn't fit my character, Kim.
I mean, no, it fits your character. Just
I'm kind of curious, what is the plural of antithesis? Is it antithesis?
Antitheses.
Antitheses, thank you.
what is Englishy?
The conversation on that will be right up there. Why the plural of moose isn't meese.
It's moosin.
Because they come from two different language backgrounds.
Oh my god, is the plural of moose actually moosin?
No, it's just moose. It's just moose.
Oh,
It was moosin.
I'm legitimately gonna cry tears of blood now because I thought that would be so fucking cool.
It's just moose.
Moosin. What the fuck is that? Oh, that's only for phlebotomy, thank God. Sorry, teacher sent me a text message. So she'll look towards everyone and say, "Wonderful." As I mentioned earlier with her, and she'll kind of motion towards Veda. Under most intriguing circumstances, there's been a disappearance. A Boggin who ran a small shop some minutes away from here has gone missing. So far, the only thing we know is that a beastie, the Athelane, was seen around the area, as was Miss Veda. I'm curious, but I'm too busy at the moment to go and investigate this myself, which is why I'm asking you.
She'll just. Well, I know where I last saw her. Take a look at the shop where she left before she left.
Wonderful.
Do you know what sort of beastie it was?
Wolf.
I think I know who you're talking about. It took the form of a. Well, before it was a wolf, it was just a little kid. Talked about wanting to play. Kind of freaking creepy.
Looks can be deceiving, Miss Veda.
Yeah. Looks are just the skin. Don't know what's lurking underneath.
Indeed. She'll turn back to look at Ashrin and say, "You can either help them, or we can go back to my office and continue speaking. Though I tire of all these subtle snarks."
You see his smile widen to that point of, it has reached the limits of polite smiling as he says, "Oh, of course. Well, as I've said, I'm merely here to allay certain fears. You've already quite allayed them if it helps. Kim, we're going to have to now roll manipulation, subfusion, perception, empathy. Oh boy.
That's fun.
Oh boy.
Watch as I get my ass kicked. Hey Brett, do you mind rolling my dice for me as I currently am capable of doing so?
Are we rolling on Discord?
Yes.
Whichever's easier, yeah. If you could just roll me 70s, please.
Give me 1 minute. I have to pull up Discord first. And rolls.
I would give anything right now for my House Leon bonus. Like, legitimately anything.
7d10.
If you fucking fail this, I am going to laugh.
It's what's the D7? I mean 7d10. What's the threshold?
Standard diff, so 6.
1, 2, 3 successes.
Not bad.
Okay. You got really lucky. Got really lucky.
No, she. Wait, hang on. How many successes did she get? I was looking at my own dice.
She only got 2.
Okay. Yay. Very politely. Is Evan about to bang another? That happened one time, Brett.
She'd probably slice his dick off.
I've got a perfectly good ghast to sleep with. My God, that's terrifying. He will smile and he will say, "Though it is only right and correct and proper that," he smiles, "as a that is a member of the Riders of the Fell, I teach these commoners the nature of haste and the nature of speed. With the possible exception of that one," he says, pointing at the headless horseman.
Billy's gonna start walking out and bringing the girl who says she knows where this place is with her.
Blythe is going to follow, picking her head up and carrying it underneath her arm. She is going to wave like this to the Baroness before leaving.
The Baroness smiles and nods her head towards Blythe. And then, when a good portion of the people are out of the room,
Crib.
My bad.
Crib is going to stand up, and he moves with a measured pace, no haste. And as he walks, small, chimerical flowers just kind of bloom beneath his feet for a few moments before fading away.
But you have to ask yourself, is this the last march of the Ents?
Jane, when he's leaving, will show again the appropriate respect to a baron that's not his before leaving.
People also saw Azalea pulling a gun out of her jacket as she was heading out.
I guess she'll follow the lead of everyone else as they're leaving and just kind of make a bow towards the Baroness. Not a super deep one, but a bow nonetheless, and head on out.
Asrin will once again lean down, kiss the Baroness' hand as he will say, "I would be most honored if after this hunt you would join me for dinner. I should love nothing more than to get to the heart of you."
Perhaps. I will see if I don't have anything better to do with my afternoon.
I shall look forward to it. He will then turn on his heel and walk out with lumbering Jim and skeletal Annie.
Before he gets out of the door, she'll say, without even turning, because she turned her back and started heading back into her office again, She won't even turn to look at him, and she'll just simply say, "Remember, those commoners are under me and my barony. Harm them, and I guess we'll just have to see what happens afterwards."
Without looking back, he'll say, "You know, harming a hair on my head is tantamount to war."
Well, I guess then that all rests on your shoulders now, doesn't it?
This is like the most she I think we've ever been ever.
Low-key love-hate she.
I mean, Kim, you get to like get out all of your snark. Let's be fair. He will walk out the door.
Okay. And is lovely, lovely little Veda leading them to the, what did we say, it was a Subway? Yeah.
It was just a sandwich shop.
Yeah, but then I was like, it's going to be the only Subway in Dublin.
Out of
I can
curiosity,
testify
are we
having
walking?
vomited. I can testify having vomited in many of them. There are many subways.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's actually a lot of Subway? Okay, well then it was a Subway.
Oh yeah, no. So there are like hundreds of Subway sandwiches in Dublin. It's a
Yeah.
huge thing.
Are we walking or?
How far is it?
From here, the sandwich shop is about 30 minutes by foot.
She takes the gun she pulled out and points it straight up in the air and pulls the trigger. And everybody sees a flare shoot off into the sky.
Please tell me that's chimerical, right?
You said I have a flare gun. You didn't tell me if it was chimerical or not. Do you want it to be chimerical?
I was curious. I was wondering. Also, I do hope if you're planning on getting this getting on the ship, it is. Hold on, let me look over your ship again. Damn it! Here we go. Okay.
Do I know what her mortal main looked like, or what? Because I was tripping balls, I only saw her fey main.
Okay, never mind. Ship's all good then. Okay, so yeah, everyone sees this fucking massive pirate ship just kind of zoom through the air.
Well,
Is it chimerical?
No. No, it's not. And it's flying and floating. And they drop a ladder and she starts climbing aboard.
But
Kim,
everyone
is there-
else.
Is there a non-chimerical ship hovering above Dublin?
Yes, but the thing is as you're walking by, you notice that none of the people really notice it. And when, what is her name? Azalea? Yeah. When Azalea grabs onto the ladder, it doesn't really seem that anyone notices a woman just climbing up the ladder either.
Are we supposed to be following her?
I guess she wants to take us there.
Blythe
She
is
just shrugs and
just
starts climbing the ladder.
Blythe is just
No,
going to
start
climb
climbing the
onto.
ladder too.
Blythe is just going to get onto her
So I-
horse, which means that she's going to get onto her motorcycle and put her helmet on, and is going to keep an eye on where they're going to know where to direct her mount.
Is Veda? Has Veda gotten on the
Yeah,
giant
she's
flying
starting to climb up. She said that I guess she wants to take us there. She shrugged, and then she started climbing up to the ship.
And Tane followed her.
You're just blinking, staring at the flying pirate ship.
As
Blinking.
Ashran passes, he will say, "You're more than welcome to join us if you would rather keep your feet on the ground."
For those that have heard of it before, this eerily resembles descriptions of the Jolly Roger.
She looked to a Zen. Oh, go ahead.
looking over to the Baylor. Just kind of sighed. I'd appreciate that. I've fallen out of much shorter trees that have hurt a lot more.
He'll nod. He'll direct you over to some kind of town car, which coincidentally is being driven. There's a town car being driven by an ogre. Everything is good in my life, Kim.
Bruh.
Why do I feel like we've entered Shadowrun? But
Because we have just accepted to move on. One
Just
day,
slide on-
Uncle
just
Thor
slide
will
on,
be
Connor.
president.
Okay.
We're in the Drek now.
You don't really know how to how the fuck the troll got into the car, but it did. And the gas pulls into the passenger side seat. Of course,
What troll? The troll Tane went up to the ship.
I said ogre. Or I meant to say ogre, not troll. Yeah.
Lost me there for a second.
You guys don't really know what the hell they are, because I don't think I gave out the lane lore to many people. You do know that they don't look like any Cathane you have ever seen in y'all's life.
Wait, you mean the ogre?
The ogre and the ghast, yes.
Well, Tane would know what he is. He's fought, but he recently fought them.
Okay. You still wouldn't know what the ghast is.
No.
Okay. So anyway, everyone gets there eventually with more or less time. The shop looks eerily desolate inside. Veda, everything looks exactly the way it was yesterday. Like the shop hasn't been touched.
It's time different here or something. She'll kind of look around as she's like getting off the ship when they've arrived.
Blythe is dismounting and patting the mane of her headless horse lightly. Just looking around, trying to get a sense of what happened here.
yeah, what is the current environment? What is what's around?
It
And
looks
what's the local weather?
It looks to be a basic, just kind of shopping center. There's a sidewalk. There's a street beside it. People are driving down with cars. It's all good. Y'all pulled into the parking lot. The parking lot is, of course, empty because the shop is closed. It's cold. Wouldn't really say too. Okay, it's chilly. Not exactly cold at the moment. And around it are other little shops and everything. Across the way, there is a very large university, though. That's a good while away. But, I mean, you can still see the university, though. It doesn't really look like anything's happened. From what you guys can just tell as a cursory glance, you don't see any blood or anything like that. Just an empty shop.
Veda will start actually going, like, kind of looking around, making sure there's no traps, but she's gonna head inside the shop.
Tane is going to do absolutely nothing because he knows he's not an investigative type. He is not going to get in their way. He is there to protect them. At least in his head.
Veda will actually. Who else is coming to the shop?
It looks like Blythe is about to head into the shop, and then all of a sudden she stops and she starts looking off towards the university.
Probably around right about when she's about to go, and she's saying, What you looking at there?
She's going to touch her choker real quick, which seems to me some smoky quartz. Then she's going to pull out her cell phone. She's going to tap something, and you're going to hear in what sounds like a digitized voice, "I'm feeling a tug towards the university."
The Baylor will smile in a way that only a Baylor can, and he'll say, "Has someone's time come to be run out then?"
More tapping on her phone, then you'll hear another digitized voice saying, "It's approaching swiftly."
My.
Do you think we should head over there? Could be her.
Been a while since I've seen a rider move.
You'll hear more tapping, and then all of a sudden you hear a digitized voice say, or it could be someone about to go into overdose. I'm not sure which yet.
And the Yildu's gonna kind of just look up, kind of go cross-eyed, and shrug. Equal 50-50.
Well, I know my way around there. We could go over there and check it out first.
Tap, 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 tap. Is it wise to split up?
Never usually is. Here, we can quickly just check things out here in the back, because that's where she went before she disappeared. She told me to stay put, but she never came. Then she'll actually go inside. I'm gonna look for the glass beetle.
Blythe is going to tap on her phone and place on says, "I'm going to check around to the back door to see if there's any disturbances back there."
Veda will give you a thumbs up.
Blythe will start heading.
So this
towards the
is a generic This is a sandwich shop.
It's a Subway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it an actual Subway, like the sandwich shop Subway?
Yeah, the Subway sandwich shop. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Eat trash.
All right.
Even though the chicken is fake. Anyway.
Who went missing?
I don't know her name, but she was there when I went through my chrysalis, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. She told me to stay put. She seemed panicked and ran here towards the back.
Okay.
So she'll walk over into the back and see what's going on in there.
Tane will follow.
And she'll keep an eye out for that glass beetle.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation.
In investigation?
No, perk investigation. My bad.
I have detail oriented for specialty.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Enter diff. I'm assuming.
And anyone else who's looking around can also roll a perk investigation.
Is there another appropriate skill, or is it just investigation?
Well, what are you trying to do?
Just pay attention for minute details.
Celia also gets 1 success.
I guess
Nothing.
larceny could also be possible.
Sorry, I missed what you said. What was the possibility?
Larceny might be applicable, but like it would.
No. All right.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd ask, just in case there was something specific. But he doesn't have
Was
that,
this?
so. Oh wait, with larceny, I'm just at a +1 difficulty.
Yeah, but you wouldn't get as much.
No. True, but
Anyway, sorry.
The Gilidu is gonna look over at Veda.
Okay.
While looking around, was this person who's gone missing. Like us? Were they a changeling?
Pretty sure. He had pointy ears and looked really out there, like most of you guys.
Okay.
I got 2 8s.
She also, it was weird. It's like she was short and not short at the same time.
That happens.
Guess I'm seeing two realities now or something like that.
Yes. So, I have 2 successes on my perception investigation.
I have 2 successes as well on mine.
I got one.
Okay. So you rolled 1 success on investigation. The beetle, you can't really tell. You can't really find it. For the 2 successes, you can't really tell exactly what it is, but it looks like what might be an arm, like the arm of a small beetle or a small little clockwork creature chimera. The
Mhm.
larceny, it doesn't look like any of the locks have been fiddled with. It's actually no, the back door lock looked like it was fiddled with at one time, like it was picked.
Okay, Tane will speak up and go, this door's been messed with.
By the way, do you guys keep an eye out for a glass beetle? That's what was behind her. And she'll actually start heading towards the back now and see what's going on in there.
Yeah, Tane will point out how it was messed with.
What's the back looking like, Kim?
The back of the shop is what you'd expect from a Subway.
Okay.
Nothing unique or weird in there, eh?
No, not really.
All right. So I'm gonna go to the back of a Subway, the back of the sandwich shop, and I know at the Subway I worked at, we kept our onions in a big bag, kind of hanging off of one of the storage parts. Is that there?
Sure. They're kind of a little, they look like they've been out all day, though.
Okay, so I am going to, as I walk over towards the onions, I'm going to get a little bit of water, sprinkle it on top. Oh, rouse from the ground, inert beings. Whisper me your stories. Tell me what's happened. So I'm going to use the sprinkling of the water and that as my bunk for a willow whisper on the onions.
It's fucking great. Yes.
I'm using Fey Realm. I want to know about the suspected changeling that was in here. The friend, not the monster.
Because you're targeting onions, you're gonna have to use nature instead of Fey.
The question, what I'm asking about determines the realm, but I will gladly use my nature realm because it's a whole lot higher.
Yeah.
Okay, so base difficulty of 8 minus 1 for nature, so that brings me down to 7. How many points for my bunk?
-2.
So 6, 5. That brings me down to 5. I will turn my last 3 dice on the dice roll into nightmare dice. So I am rolling 7 dice at diff 4.
Okay.
So I get 4 questions.
Yep, you do. Well, you had 2 ones. So those will cancel out.
I still get the oh, there it is. I didn't
Yeah.
do the code right. So
It'll only be 2. But that's still 2 questions.
okay. And no additional nightmare
On
gain.
the proverbial
Hooray.
side note, boys and girls, one of the kids that I mentor in a group has just been taken to hospital, having suspected that they attempted to commit suicide. That is my evening.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah. So that's where I was. My apologies. What are we doing now?
Hope the little person is okay.
Yeah. They're fine. Yeah, like for the record, they're fine. They're stable. Just stupid, idiot, alcoholic parents not being caring, and their stupid, inconsiderate alcoholic parents that I might go and burn the house down of because I'm going to punch your dad in the face. Continue.
We didn't
Yeah.
hear that. No, I
So-
mean we heard that, but we didn't hear that.
Yeah. So currently everyone's kind of in a subway investigating the place for a bargain. Brett's character did mention that he felt a tug towards the university, but everyone decided to go check out the back of the subway first.
Since we're already here, we could do it
Ashwin
real
is going
quick.
to find a very, very, very how will I say it? He's going to find a very sparkly piece of mirror or reflective surface, and he's going to be looking at himself.
Sounds good.
So the first question I'm going to ask is what happened to the short little changeling?
And she'll and Vado will actually say to the guy like the day of the
I'm
week that happened.
Asking the onions. I'm whispering to the onions.
I know, but she just assume anything goes at this point, and she'll just say to you, if you're asking the onions for some strange reason, she'll just say, on what was the day at Chrysalis, Kim? The day of the week?
We're gonna put that down. What is today? Wednesday? Y'all said I was. We're gonna put that on Monday.
Okay, she'll say on Monday. She'll just whisper to you.
You wouldn't exactly know that he's talking to the onions. You just know that you can't really understand what he's asking. You just kind of see him chilling over by the
okay.
onions.
I thought he would. I thought he was speaking English. My bad.
I was.
Oh,
I drip some water on the onions, and then I whispered in English what happened to the buggin.
okay.
Wouldn't you love it if the onions responded, "We are free from the dictatorship of our choppers."
The onions. I know we're supposed to try to do this in the perspective of the fucking things, but what is the perspective of an onion?
Something that cries a lot. No.
The onion will just kind of say, "Tiny woman left with big person."
Compound question. Did the tiny person leave of their own volition, or were they carried?
Tiny person was screaming.
And the magic fades. Because I only get 2 questions.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Tane's checking out the food cooler.
Yep, the food is still where the food was. Doesn't look like it's been had anything dealt with for the past few days.
Nothing disturbed unusually in there.
Nope.
I think they came in through that door, and points at the back door, because that door's been messed with.
Well, let's go see what's back there.
Hey, while all this is going on, can I make a survival check to see if I can find tracks?
Sure.
Or what would the roll be? Perception, survival?
Yes.
Alright, just so you know, according to my birthright, I'm at -1 difficulty and I cannot bounce. Oh, crap, it's only as long as I'm mounted. Never mind.
Yeah.
Forgot that little part, which I shouldn't have because I wrote that.
That happens to the best of us.
I don't know. Survive. 5d10. Ah, 3 successes.
Okay. You kind of look around at the floor. It's the floor of a subway. They did mop and everything like that, but of course, the job wasn't done that well. They wanted to get home. They were tired,
Mhm.
probably wanting to murder people. So you can kind of see they're very faint, but not really footprints so much as dust prints where actually no, because they were taken before they had a chance to clean up. So the floor is still kind of dirty and everything. And you can kind of see prints where feet have walked through. There's a large boot print. Not really a boot print, but it's a shoe print. A pair of those and then a smaller shoe. And they seem to be going out the back.
Okay, so I'm gonna go out the back door.
You know what? Prince Ashton's going to follow after him vaguely.
There's
Vaguely.
security cameras?
Hmm?
Is there security cameras?
From somebody who's worked in a restaurant like that, there are, but they don't go to. They don't go to the store. Like, there's no place to watch them on the store. They go to a monitor, but they're recorded at another area. Like,
That's not always true with many fast food places.
I mean, there's obviously there's a quick thing, but it rewrites itself every 2 hours, I think. Like, there's a quick record, but it rewrites itself every 2 hours. But the actual long-term record is stored with a security company.
We'll look for a sticker on the office door or something for the security company, just in case we got somebody with contacts in that area, or with the police or something like that.
So you're just looking around for a sticker?
You know how like some businesses have ADT on a window somewhere, or managers not billboard, but sticky board that says in case of incident contact X security company, or even look right at like the security keypad for the name of the security company, something like that.
This shop is all not that good. It's a little old. There are a couple security cameras, and there's like a computer as well. Don't really see any stickers, and you think that they might just lock the door instead of having a big fancy keypad. Because when I worked at my fast food restaurant, we didn't have those. We just locked the door, and that was that.
Is there a actual office with a door, or is it just all 100% open?
It's completely open. There's kind of like this one little secluded side towards the freezer where there's a little computer.
Yeah, I'm going to grab one of the plastic gloves from like the sandwich making section and put it on and flip through like the paperwork at the office section, looking for a possible place where like a security feed might be led to, or something along those lines, or any information about that might be pertinent or helpful.
Okay, so you're just looking at the paperwork on the desk?
Yeah, he doesn't really know much about computers, so.
As you flip through the paperwork on the desk, whoever that was here kept very meticulous records, and they like to keep everything organized and clean. You flip through the records, and all it is detailing stuff about what shipments of what that they got in, what meats, what cheese they're going to need in, what kind of bread, what's malfunctioning, what bills need to be paid, how much they earn, total revenue, who worked this hour, who worked these hours, who's looking a little slacky, etc., etc. There are a couple applications as well.
Anything in the applications that look out of place?
If you look at the application, it looks like just a few students are trying to get, a way to get some extra money to do what they want.
So there's no mention of a previous incident with the back door being messed with?
Not from what you can tell.
He'll look up and look over at them and go, "This guy is, it's a guy, right?"
It's a girl.
Oh, this girl was like super meticulous. There's no mention of the door being broken before, so that's possibly related.
You know what, Kim? At this point, Ashrin yawns as he walks outside. He gestures for Tweedledum and Tweedledee, who will eventually have names, I assure you, to follow him. As he'll kick his foot back against the wall, and he'll lean against it as he's going to look at the guest. Mostly because you haven't given me my lures yet. It's fair. He will probably possess Lore Thale when he gets his lures.
You haven't written me a backstory either, so.
He will look at the guest with his arms folded and kind of with his eyes closed, and he'll say, "What one of your brothers and sisters is most likely to be your wolf?"
As the snarky Baroness said, it was a beastie.
I see. How boring. Very well. He'll kind of look up and he'll make sure the ogre is at least paying attention, because God knows he might be looking off into nowhere. They do that a lot. I'm like, hey, down here.
He'll crane his neck down and look at you.
He'll say, well then, let me think. Because ogres are meant to be incredibly good at getting scents. He'll say, can you scent the damn thing?
Give me a moment. Well, they're good at knowing who's a Thalane and who isn't.
Yes, but I'm asking if there's another Thalane scent around, basically.
He'll kind of sniff at the air. And then... Uh-oh. Sorry, a friend just messaged me with something. Oh, lordy, lordy. Damn it. Okay. I'll kind of sniff around, and I'll just kind of nod.
At which point, Ashwin will very calmly raise his finger to intimate one moment before he steps back inside and he says, I may have a lead as to where your little bargain went, if anyone's interested.
Sure.
What's the lead? She'll kind of come out of the back.
I have a question. Well, no, clearly, no. I take it none of you have been hunting before.
She'll just shake her head.
Ah. He kind of looks over at the headless horseman. You never hunting? I would have thought you'd been the type.
The headless horseman is actually going out the back door, following a trail, so
Okay.
not there to refute anything.
That's fair. He will say as he pats the grotesque monstrosity standing at his side. They have excellent noses, you know. We have a scent.
And I guess we could follow it. Not sure where the other woman went. One with the phone. I think she went out back. I'll tell her. She'll go out the back and try and find the Doulahan.
Do I need to make another survival check to follow tracks, or
Yes, please.
no problem? Wish I had my horse right now.
It's left at the library, ain't it?
No, it's out. It's out front.
Oh.
So while they're all up in the front, talking about it, there's a horse up front that's just pawing the ground and snorting, with black fog rolling around it. Ah, that sucks. Nope.
Ooh. Okay.
Technically, it's a fail, not a botch.
Yeah. So you get outside, and you're trying to look at the tracks because the back is concrete as well, and you thought you had it, but you just kind of like, maybe it's too bright outside. There was a troll and a gas kind of chilling outside too. They could have messed with the tracks. Oh my god, whatever. They are so similar. The big fucker and the skinny fucker were outside.
Alright,
So
she's
she'll...
just gonna get pouty. Like, the head she's holding just pouts. And is gonna stomp her booted foot on the ground. And then turn around, look to Veda, and that head's gonna smile. And tilt her head to the side like, yes?
Apparently the guy with the crazy haircut, he said his ogre friend has a scent. What did you find?
She's gonna tap on her phone, and then mechanized voice is gonna play. Well, I would have had a scent if people wouldn't have messed around back here. But let's go find out what Big Ugly's doing.
Okay. This way.
Alright, just gonna
She'll
walk
lead you back to the front of the shop.
Yeah.
Tane will follow.
God, this shit this is weird.
Now then, shall we keep this sportsmanly? Winner gets to keep the pelt, I believe is the old tradition. One strikes the death blow.
At that point, you hear what could best be described as a muffled huff as the Doulahan forces her head to toss her hair back over what would have been her neck, and she's going to walk outside.
Merely civilized hunting rules. My apologies if it's too extreme for some.
You're talking about, like, skinning people?
They are the prey.
What's the matter, dude? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, let's go follow the scent. She kind of has this look of like, geez, this sounds kind of fucked up.
Kim, I want to say roll initiative. Must resist. No, it's okay. You can actually see he's biting so hard into his lower lip that blood is starting to pool at the side of his mouth.
She'll kind of like look at everyone else at this and just kind of look at him and go, "You okay?"
He's a she. That's what they do. And she'll give a small curtsy to the Duke and ushers Veda forward.
She's gonna follow the nice pirate with the cool ship.
With that, he'll turn to the ogre and he'll. Can we call the ogre Avalanche?
Fine, the ogre's name can be Avalanche.
Yes. I consider this a personal victory, not only for me but for ogres everywhere. He will simply say Avalanche Hunt.
Okay, boss.
Remember, we're not hunting for children. Not today.
Did we hear that?
Tane totally gives a side glance right at the ogre over his shoulder.
Dude, wait a minute. Did we hear that?
Yes.
I
Y'all
turn
heard-
around and go, what the fuck?
Just a point. Tane's hand actually starts to go towards the case on his back for a second.
Did you just say hunt children?
I said not today.
Okay, at this point, the horse is going to start acting agitated.
She'll kind of look to the pirate and just kind of like to Azela, and she'll kind of have a look of what the fuck on her face.
Azalea has a look of, yeah, I know. I wish I could shoot him kind of look on her face. You can see that one hand's resting on a pistol in her belt. It's a chimerical pistol, but it's resting there, and you can tell that it's not just like to sit there resting. It's like she's got her hand around it, like could.
For those who would recognize it, Tane's definitely sizing up the ogre.
He'll just kind of shrug. He'll say, hunt. Again.
Yeah, no, the ogre was already going. He just kind of left you guys behind as everyone
She's
was
just
like,
gonna,
what the fuck?
she's gonna realize that the thing left, and she's gonna try and run after it and follow it.
Which way was it going?
It's going towards the university.
Okay,
Is she-
I'm actually going to mount up, and I'm going to ride towards the call.
Tane's following. His
Azalea's
eyes
saying-
never left the troll, so he knows which way he went. Or the ogre. Oh, you got me doing it, damn it!
Azalea will try and keep them in sight.
Okay, well, the ogre is not going that fast. The ogre is just kind of lumber. You also see he's just crossing the street because there's a street in between, here and the university. He's not pausing and doing normal rules. He is just literally walking out into the middle of traffic. There are people stopping and honking, and they're getting generally pissed. But no one seems to stop the gigantic man. And of course, then Blythe comes and catches up to him on her motorcycle and pisses a couple other people off.
And then another giant guy walks out in front of them.
Oh, I forgot to show you guys what the motorcycle looks like. Give me a minute.
Oh, it's a dope ass motorcycle. I saw it.
It's a 2009 Harley Night Train.
Oh, Sezzy.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, glorious.
Two giant men and a motorcycle cross.
So we're heading over to Dublin University.
Or wherever we're chasing the ogre.
And the ogre is just kind of blum, 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 right over to the university.
As we walk, he will occasionally skip, and he will pick up any branch or flower, nest of leaves that he can, and he will begin to make himself a plant crown as we follow the bumbling one.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that just fine. Takes a little bit because you got to pick them off the campus floor, but you can do it.
Okay. And as we do, all right. That all is my that will be my bunk and the focal point of the Well of Life cantrip that I am now casting. Spinning glamour for word. I'm gonna spend a glamour to cheat for the time realm for the first dot.
Okay.
So 8 -1 for nature. Nature affinity, so 7. I'm gonna go. I have 8 dice and no nightmare rating. I'm gonna replace the last 3 dice with my nightmare rating, or last 3 dice with nightmare dice. And what is the bunk rating?
For creating the crown?
Yep, for skipping as I walk, following the bumbling ogre, and creating the little crown.
Yeah, that'll be 2.
All right, so down to diff 4. +1 for the time realm, so diff 5. I have nature 5, spring 3, so I'm rolling 8 dice. It would help if I put the space. That's a long time. I do get a point of nightmare. I've gained a point of nightmare.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
That's 1.
Doesn't that do weird ass shit to Gilly do though?
That's
No.
banality.
That's banality, and only when I gain a permanent point of banality, or I suffer chimerical death,
Ooh.
or both. And then it's treated just as a banality trigger. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus the 1 is 6 successes. And then it's tripled. The duration is tripled because of the time 1. So, right?
Did you spend a dot of glamour for
It's a
time?
weird cantrip. I have to. Yes.
Okay.
I spent a dot of glamour, or a point of glamour, and a point of glamour to cheat for time. And I spent a point of glamour because it's a weird cantrip. So it caps at 5 successes, which means it lasts a week. And then it's tripled. So I have a 3-week healing crown
Okay.
that I'm going to sit on my head.
But did you also add Fae into the effect? Because the nature crown will heal nature, but not necessarily you.
Realm determines the source of the healing. What becomes the healing object? The realm determines the source of the healing to anything near the target. Simply being in proximity of the focus of Well of Life restores a bashing or lethal during the scene. Touching the target heals a bashing or lethal each turn.
Nice.
Consuming all or part of the focus of the cantrip restores all bashing and lethal, and also heals 1 aggravated wound.
Nice.
So, a crown of leaves that will last, unless entirely consumed, until the 13th. I'm going to update my blue book.
Sounds good.
Are there many students around? There are many students around. Is there anybody around at this moment?
It's a Wednesday night. Everyone's out partying. No one's really on the campus grounds at the moment. They're all in their dorms or at the parties.
All right, he's going to reach behind him and mess with the clips on the on his case, so that in case of combat, he can pretty much drop the thing in the case from the case into his hand quickly, rather than having to take it off and open it and take it out.
Hey, Brett.
Yo.
You know that call of the call of the rider frailty, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you know where to go.
I'm riding.
And you're going.
Yeah.
I'm following the ogre.
The ogre is considerably slower than the person on the motorcycle.
And I'll follow the
I
person.
could change that.
Tane is definitely following the thing on the the one on the motorcycle, because he don't trust the ogre.
I'm gonna be real. You guys can run as fast as y'all can. I don't think y'all are catching up to a motorcycle.
No, probably not. Still trying. It's
Yeah.
at the university anyway, and I know where that is. So
Is he going the direct route? Like, is he going like over like grass and all that? Because if he is, we can just follow the trail.
Depends, Brett. With that frailty, where you going?
I have to follow the most direct route.
Yep. So yeah.
So we could just follow either.
It does
the
depend upon the severity.
So we can either follow the skid marks or
If I'm going to be late, I have to take the most direct route.
It's gonna be a close call, because you can definitely tell it's very, very close to happening.
Okay, I'm going to take the most direct route. So I'm driving over grass and over sidewalks and through quads and stuff like that.
So follow the grooves in the grass and the skid marks on the pavement.
pretty much.
Yep, y'all can do that. Eventually, Brett, you get to, and the troll is following the exact same way.
The ogre, you mean?
Yes, whatever is following the exact same route. But Brett, since you're gonna get there before everyone else, because you're on a motorcycle and you were really pressed for time, so you booking it. You get to what looked to be an abandoned class hall or building. The entire thing is just abandoned. And you can tell in the basement of this building is where it's coming from.
Okay. Is there a way to get the motorcycle down there?
Yes.
It's going down.
It's genius. He's making it very easy to follow him. It's not the skid marks, it's the sound.
Yeah, I'm gonna require... My bad?
A drive check?
What were you gonna say, Austin? Sorry.
I am following the mess.
I think the Baylor is going to stop. He's going to stop, and he's going to basically kind of hit the ogre until the ogre, well, like with something blunt, until the ogre realizes that his attention is needed. At which point he's just going to shake his head, and we're going to start casually walking because I'm not going to be blamed for this shit.
Kim, just so you know, the moment that we get inside of the abandoned building, he's just dropping the case and taking out the mall.
Okay.
All right, so it is a drive check, right?
Yes, I'm gonna need that
Reminder-
drive. Dex.
Reminder: senses of the rider. -1 difficulty, and I cannot botch.
Yep.
Does my dex specialty of Swift apply?
You're less trying to be swift right now. You're more trying to not skid and fall on the floors.
That's a good point taken. Okay, I'm going to spend a willpower.
Okay.
Holy crap! Those fucking ones.
You still
One
got
suc-
that one from the willpower,
Yes, but look at those 10s.
right?
It's evil. I hate this thing so much.
Yeah. Trust me.
Remember, because I think that it may have already slipped my fellow GM's minds. Ones do not detract the entirety of the 10; they subtract one of its successes.
But his tens didn't double anyway.
Ah, if they had done,
Swift didn't
I
apply.
apologize.
So, yeah.
So you still got that one success. You are very close to slipping as you turn through these hallways and you drive down the stairwell to get to the basement. It's very precarious, but you manage.
So follow the skid marks and the broken glass now.
Yeah, no, nah, actually, Brett, you're not going to be able to hear them running after you, but everyone else can hear the resounding through the entire building.
Are they hearing that mixed with the sounds of a horse whinnying?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
calmly. Because we've slowed down and are walking much further behind the group, without turning to look at him, he'll simply say, "If the rider dies, you can eat his heart if you'd like."
What hurt?
The woman licks her lips and says, "Why, thank you, my lord."
She freaks the shit out of even me.
The fuck did you expect? It's a gas! Motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah, for those wondering, Tane pulls out of the case a really big fucking hammer. It's a maul.
So, Brett, you get there seconds too late. You managed it. You got there. As soon as you entered the room, you see a boggin bleeding out on the floor. Sitting beside them, kind of laughing cheerfully with a knife in their hand, is a child about the age of 15 or 16. They look extremely unkempt. You'd think that they could possibly be an unseelie puka. Just they look a lot worse than the unseelie pukas. And he is just kind of saying, "Well, and that's what you get for never playing with me." Well, actually, no, it's like a 16-year-old boy. His voice is a lot deeper than that. It's not a kid. Well, it is a kid, but it's not like a young kid. He's an adult-ish. So, of course, it's the voice is deeper. But he does seem genuinely pissed at this woman.
Let me know when I have to call out the name.
Yeah, you can go ahead and call it out. Her name was Sarana.
Okay. So this is going to ring out through, like, I guess about 40 or 50 feet within the dreaming. a chillingly beautiful voice calls out, "Serana!" And then it's just then silence.
Yeah, Tane will kick up into an outright run in the direction.
So now, seeing this, the mist with the fog around her is going to coalesce and become plate armor. And in one hand, the hand not holding her head, is a scythe, and it's directed at the Puka child.
Yeah, Kim. Tane's outright running in the direction of the yell, and doors are not going to stop Tane. Tane is going into full troll battering ram mode.
And the rest of you guys get down there, seeing, oh yeah, Austin, what you missed was Blythe got down there right as the boggin was murdered by looks to be 15 or 16-year-old boy that looks to be a really heavily unseelie puka. From what you guys can tell, except if anyone paid attention to the Baroness when she was going over what she was saying, she said it was a beastie. Of course, you guys don't really know what that means.
Gotcha. Noted.
When I go down there, do I recognize him? Or is
Yes, that is the little boy from yesterday, and the boggin as well. She is clearly dead with her throat slit, and he is holding the knife. Though now he is turned away from her and is standing up, staring at you guys. And then when he notices you, Veda, he says, "This is all your fault for not coming with me yesterday." Or the other
fucking
day.
shit, she says.
Tane is going to step up and step right to the headless person's side, look over at her and give her a nod, and shoulder the giant ass maul. Obviously, he's ready to play.
She's not making a move because she cannot outright attack somebody. But she
Then
can.
Tane is going to point at the body, point at it, and look at you.
She's going to sweep the scythe in front of them, spin it around in her hand, and then point it towards the puka, and then tilt her head, which, by the way, is now wearing a helmet, towards you, and nod.
Then Tane's charging in. Tane is outright charging the beastie.
As you go-
Let's be that guy and protect the beastie, shall we?
Oh, you are way the fuck behind.
I know, but when we get there, we're probably not going to get there. Kill it with fire.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an ish.
He doesn't get a surprise round.
Nah, because the dude was watching you the entire time.
Not a problem. The no is perfectly fine. Just wanted to make sure.
So, just for mental tracking, Blythe and Tane are at the beastie hole, and then with Beta.
He's like getting in a fighting stance.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they are all at Beastie Land.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that we might have been walking slower than the others if you're
Okay.
back with me.
okay. I will
Okay, I don't have her lightsaber yet.
accept that. I am back with the Baylor.
Damn it! Somebody left the Gildu alone with the Baylor. There's a problem there.
Yeah.
He happens to really like Gilly-Doo. Nothing roasts his meat better. I'm kidding. Honest. He's not actually that evil. We'll discuss it later, Kim. Wink, wink.
Bullshit.
No, he's not. He's not that evil. He's about half a step behind that evil, but he's not quite that evil.
Oh no, that's his father.
He's the Diet Coke of evil compared to his father.
Doesn't Diet Coke have like aspartame in it?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yes. Because
So
apparently you can
technically it's
either
more
lose
fatal.
weight or have. Apparently, let's face it, you can either lose weight or have cancer.
Are we doing the thing where we're describing what we're doing from reverse initiative order, or are we just going on we just acting on initiative?
Describing it from reverse order really takes for frickin' ever. Let's be
Okay.
real.
No, just curious question.
Nah, like, this combat's not gonna last very long anyway. And mostly because I have a small trick up my sleeve, but anyway, no, we can just go down order. So that would be
Alright,
Your
time to
turn.
roll initiative.
Yep.
As Evan's walking, there might be a troll-sized new doorway in an occasional spot where there used to not be one.
Well, that's a new door.
Okay.
Looks like Brett goes first.
Yes.
I'm actually going to hold my action and wait
Okay.
for somebody else to attack it, and then I can act in support capacity.
Well, next one in turn, unless anyone got a 15 that I'm not seeing.
Nope.
Mm-mm. That's not it.
Okay. Well, you guys see the person, this, 16, sorry, the 16-year-old young man look at you guys, notice the troll running towards him. So the it's the young man, begins jumping up and down. And then kind of pulls some dust out of his pocket, throws it over you guys.
Oh, I know this trick, preempt.
Huh?
I know this trick, preempt.
Preempt what?
I'm preempting what he's doing.
Okay.
I'm going to hopscotch him into a wall.
Okay.
He is moving to attack, so Brett would not be attacking first, or
Is it an attack?
action.
It's actually
Technically,
not an attack.
Technically, I can't hurt him with hopscotch,
No,
but he's going towards the wall.
I mean, obviously, you wrote the thing. Does it say you cannot attack or you cannot harm?
I have the flaw lifesaver, and it's not that I cannot attack. It's my character doesn't like violence when violence isn't called for, but she's doing something. This guy's doing something shady towards us, so that needs to stop.
Actually, he's not. Like, if you look, he's not really doing anything. You have Wayfair.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. He's getting his bunks ready. So either he's going to try to get Giala out of there, or he's trying to get himself out of there.
Well, regardless, that needs to stop. So he's got to be taken to the Baroness. So
You might want to tell the troll that.
I mean,
well, I'm
Wait,
open.
hold on. Did the Baroness indicate that she wanted to speak to him personally?
The Mariness wanted to investigate what's going on.
Then he doesn't care. They found out what's going on.
Did we though? Did we
Yeah,
really?
really?
We found him kneeling over a dead body with a.
Tane indicated the dead body
He
and
didn't
pointed at the beastie, asking if he did it.
She never said that the knife was bloody.
do I need to make this wild or is it chimerical? Oh no, it's weird. Never mind.
Mm.
Gotta spend the glamour. And that's Dex plus. Oh no, it's Realm. It's Art plus Realm. So
Art plus Realm.
it's 2 plus. It's Face, so 3. 5d10.
Are we using exact realms?
What do you mean by that? That you can only use the exact amount of realm that you need?
Well, no, like if
Like you have to have a certain
Yeah.
level of
Say,
fae to affect.
like 3 to affect Nervosa or Imaginary Friends, Pay
Mhm.
4 to affect Elaine.
Yeah. You need the level of realm for the person that you wish to affect.
So I'd have to have 5 to affect him.
4.
Let me
4.
see.
I don't have it. Can't do it then.
Well, you can
You
still
can spend an extra
Spend the
glamour.
glamour.
yeah.
Spend
I'll
that glamour to cheat that realm.
Spend the extra glamour then. Does that mean I get the dice or just able to do it with what I have?
Just able to
be
do
able to
what
do
you
it.
have.
No. I hate this dice roller so much. It can die in a fire.
Ooh.
I didn't
Ugh.
botch, but
Yeah. You didn't.
That was
you,
unfortunate.
yeah. But you didn't botch though. That would have been bad.
so how much penalty do I gain?
I don't think you gained any for failing it. Oh yeah, that's right. Shit. Isn't it just a point of temp? For
failing
failing
a cantrip roll.
Yeah.
Double checking.
Could have sworn it
I'm
was
pretty
just a
sure
temp.
it's just it just becomes a trigger. Graceful.
Oh, are we talking about a failure of a cantrip? I think it just. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just a banality trigger, but you can resist it with glamour, basically.
Yeah, he
Gonna
has to
go.
roll glamour to fate.
Yeah.
Is that perm glamour or temp glamour?
Your glamour pool, so whatever your actual glamour is.
Eight. F1. 4 successes.
You only really need 1 on that roll.
Okay.
You good.
Hey. I'm not screwed.
You
Again.
are not. So might need to have a talk with this thing, because holy crap. Is it really mean to you today?
I think a side bot needs to be, beaten with a rubber hose.
Kinda does.
So is he still doing more bunks, or is he finished with his
Yeah.
bunks?
He's just gonna jump up and down, and he sprinkles the dust all over the floor. And let me do some roly.
Come on, Fairly Fairly.
This is going to be an interesting result.
Oh boy.
Yep, because he really wants to get out of here, so he's doing something not so good. Oh, damn. Okay. That's still one success. So, he was there. And he unleashed because he did not have Wayfarer 5. So, you don't know where he went. But he just poofed in front of you guys and dust went everywhere. Evan and Austin, you guys see this kid kind of appear in front of you about 6 or 7 feet in the air and just come crashing down in front of you guys. To which the ogre proudly proclaims, "Hey boss, I found him."
Well done, Avalanche. I don't know how I reward you. It's probably terrifying for all to behold, but you'll get some of that later.
Yay.
He will very calmly point at Avalanche and he will say, "Fetch." Because ogres are amazing at grappling. Like, sinfully amazing.
Okay, we're gonna pause right there. For those down in the basement, there's still the body of that boggin and the dust all over the floor.
Blythe is going to set her head on the back seat of her horse and is going to walk over, close the eyes of the boggin, and pick her up gently, and is going to carry her on her mount away.
What the
You
heck?
can take her on my ship if you go to the roof with her. No one will have to see her.
The stump of the body gives a nod, and she will then mount up and head up to the roof.
Jane will follow.
Okay, you're not going as fast as you did before, right? You're just taking your time.
No, the motorcycle, which can actually move of its own accord, is going to be lightly stepping like a horse would.
Okay. So is everyone heading up to the roof then?
Yeah, she'll just say to I guess to everyone. Where did he go? Is he gone now? What should we do?
He probably didn't get far, but
Seeing we're on top of a roof, Jane's gonna go look around from the roof.
Roll me that the park investigation.
I don't have investigation. It's an investigation to look off the top of a roof.
You're on the top of a pretty tall college building looking down at trying to find a very small young man at night.
Alright, I can't do it then.
There are a couple spotlights. But they don't seem to be pointing anywhere near you guys. If anyone else wants to roll it, though.
I mean, once I get to the top, I guess she'll look around.
Actually, nah. You can. That would probably be park alert, not investigation.
Alright. Let's see here.
it's probably still going to be defeat or so.
Five,
Yeah, unless you have like night sight or something.
I have night sight.
five dice, and I cannot botch.
The funny thing is, the person with night sight is currently unable to look her head in that direction. So,
Well, don't worry about it. I have an insight too.
okay, awesome.
Would you just pick her head up?
I
Ooh,
got 5 successes. Oh no, wait,
I
what?
got,
Wait, yeah, that's 5 successes for me.
I got 4.
Okay. Yeah, you both got 4 because this is at night. So it is an increased difficulty.
Okay, so yeah, 4 then.
Yeah, y'all see that same kid who has been kind of roughly picked up by the shirt collar by the giant ogre, where the Gilly-Doo and the Ghast and the Baylor are.
She'll just kind of say towards everyone else in the back, it seems Hairdo has the kid.
How tall is this building?
Dude, it's like 6, 7 stories.
Is there smaller buildings around it to be able to jump down to?
Not anywhere particularly close. This is
Just Bontai. You're a troll. You can do it.
Yeah, why the hell not? He's a tough ass bastard.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
look
might be the
at me
stupidest
right
thing
now.
this might be the stupidest thing. I'm assuming it's a what is it? Strength athletics?
I'm so glad I prepped this.
Are you just trying to jump off the building?
Yeah. Okay,
And
not a
probably
matter-
not belly flop.
yes.
It's not a matter of jump, it's a matter of fall.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a death athletics.
That,
Did you say
Well,
death
it's not
athletics?
Thank
it's
God
not
I
the
cannot
fall,
watch on
it's sticking the landing.
Yeah.
It's the
No.
sun stop.
Oh,
Really,
Christ.
really, thank God I
Ladies
can't
and
watch
gentlemen, I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have to go and look up the falling rolls.
Oh my
'cause they
God!
exist.
Thank God! Thank
Oh.
God! Really, thank God I can't watch this roll.
Bruh, you
Oh.
fucking failed. It's a 7-story building.
Oh
Wait,
God!
what are you doing? She
Oh
was
my
right
God.
next to you.
Hey,
you
it
just
really,
botch?
really, no. Thank God. No, really, it comes down to thank God I can't botch
Kim,
Yes,
as
no,
he
that's
as he
still up.
pathetically
because I pretty
Okay.
much did botch.
Kim, as he pathetically flails down through existence, Ashrin will look up. He will physically jump forward 3 spaces before jumping to the side and raise both of his arms. And basically, I'm going to hopscotch him in midair so he will at least land safely.
Awesome.
I am running
Oh.
to his future impact crater.
Oh, my mother of God, when I say the conversation I'm going to have with his Baron and the phrase right of ignorance. Actually, the conversation I'm going to have with a whole bunch of people and the phrase right of ignorance is going to be spectacular. It's coming.
No, the Baron is not going to be happy when he hears news of this.
So
Am I getting the
that's
call?
gonna be fair.
So wait, what you'll guys hear?
Actually,
Because Veda was right next to what's his name, the troll when he jumped. So she said, "Oh, no, wait, no." So that's what you guys hear behind you. Or,
I have to do this the right way. Evan, go ahead and roll perk alert to see this guy jumping off of the building, because your attention is kind of, it's probably on the dude that the ogre has picked up. So go ahead and roll that perk alert.
Hey Kim, aren't we glad I bought perk or I bought alertness? Aren't we glad?
That one die!
Can you please roll me my 3 dice and I will spend a willpower
I'm not going to
I-
do it for fear of failing.
because I don't want to. Yes, please don't botch my rolls.
2 successes.
One
Is
success.
that-
Already
is-
included.
Oh, well, fine.
Is that?
Actually,
is
wait.
that-
Oh yeah, no, because do you have night sight?
I do not have night sight. No.
Then it's a fail.
Yeah.
No. The willpower will still make it succeed on 1 success.
Even with the 1?
the way.
A willpower success is always a willpower success.
Yes, this is true. But it's up to Kim.
It is up to Kim ultimately.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. The way they did it in Hong Kong was a little wonky anyway. I don't think it states anywhere in the book that when you spend a willpower, it negates the thing, so it's just one automatic success. So you kind of see something falling from the college building. You're not really sure. It's really dark outside.
I'm still going to do it based on the proviso that people are dumb. This is my entire reasoning. You know what? No, he's going to hedge his bets. He's going to spend a lot more glamour than he needs to, assuming that he thinks it's either a changeling falling down. Because, I mean, let's be real. When you see something falling, it will have a vaguely humanoid shape, even though I can't see it very well. But he doesn't know that if it's a changeling or if it's a person. So what he'll do is he'll spend the glamour to affect an actor and to affect the Fae, and basically roll it as one, because he doesn't know what he's affecting. So he's basically hedging his bets.
Does that seem
so
like a reasonable expensive?
Yes. I have a decent amount. I have a decent amount of realms.
Oh, that is so expensive.
Yeah, I know. This is a stupid thing to do.
No, the stupid thing to do was jumping off a 7-story
No, that's what
building.
I'm saying. This was a stupid thing to do. But he's got this thing with ogres, and there's a possible threat, and yada yada yada.
All right. So Kim,
Possible threat. The ogre at the worst would have done the exact same thing you were gonna do, which was kill the dude.
All right. So Kim, I'm gonna spend the 3 glamour in order to get actor 5 temporarily. I'll put the 2 my 2 Fae, because I only need to affect an ordinary titled Fae, and I will put 1 in to make the cantrip weird, and I will, if you wouldn't mind rolling me my dice pool, which is a grand total of Muno Memento por favor, 3, 4, 5, which is 5 dice. The bunk will be him jumping forward, skipping to the side. Yeah, that's the only bunk he's doing, and I'm going to spend another willpower point on it, because if I don't, I just checked, and I very much doubt Ian can soak all the lethal damage that's about to impact his cranium.
Ow.
And jumping is strength. Falling and
Yeah,
rolling
but he specifically
is
said
not.
he was jumping, which means indicating a actual jumping.
And look, once you jump off that building, though, you're falling, dog.
Jumping would be like jumping up, not jumping down.
Yeah,
So Kim, what amount do you
So-
give me for the cantrip of jumping forward and then skipping to the side?
That'll just be. It's not really. That'll probably be just 1. You only have. What level of Wayfarer are you using?
Wait for 2.
Okay.
No, I thought you were using wait for 1 hopscotch.
Oh yeah, wait for 1 hopscotch. My apologies.
Wait for 2 would make him fall faster. So don't want
Tempting.
that.
Very tempting, Brett. Oh, why is he everywhere?
We're gonna need another Timmy.
Kinda. Okay, so you're using Wayfarer. You're boosting all the way up to Fae 5, right?
No, I'm boosting up to actor 5, because he's assuming this might be a person or it might be a changing. He doesn't know, so he's basically pumping up his actor in order to make it so that if it's an ordinary person who's falling, he could do it, if that makes sense, because he doesn't know who's falling.
Just an ordinary person.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna need Fae to use
Yeah.
a Fae.
But I already have enough Fae to affect him without the need to spend more glamour on it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think we're good. If
So
you
are
wouldn't
you
mind
using
roll.
both Actor and Fae then?
Yeah, basically. He's hedging his bets.
Just making sure.
Yeah, no worries. So he will have spent all of his glamour pool to do this. So if you wouldn't mind just rolling my 5 dice, and I'll spend another willpower to make sure that Ian is not a mess on the pavement.
Oof.
Yeah, you get it.
Like a boss.
Oi, 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 oi.
That's a pretty roll.
That's a pretty. He will kind of turn to the Gilly-Doo and he will say, I would like you to observe something if you don't mind.
Look over.
He'll very calmly look at his watch. Ian, just tell me when Ian lands.
It'll be a while.
Excellent.
Really?
Very well then. He will. Okay, sorry. You guys want to do your thing on the roof? My apologies. We just had to save Ian's existence. For the record, I checked. Congratulations, Ian. If you've been falling for that length of time, you would have taken, I believe, if my calculations are correct, between 10 and 15 lethal damage.
We call that Kersplatty Pow.
I thought it was different than that. Fuck, man.
There's a reason not even vampires are dumb enough to superhero jump off buildings.
Yeah.
Well, there was
That's
Super
heck-
Dude.
Yes, but we must never speak of him.
Yeah, this is dumb.
Sorry, was there something happening on the roof?
No, Veda was just kind of exclaiming, "No, don't do that!" And suddenly, it's only if you guys look, it's just Veda there, and Stain is not there anymore. And Veda seems to be looking down, and you can tell like her hands are on her mouth.
One hand is going to pick up Blythe's head and hand it to Veda.
She'll kind of have your head in her hands, and she looks kind of like,
And she'll point down, like she wants to see what happened.
she'll, point your head down.
The phone's not going off. I think he's going to be fine.
There is a noticeable wince on the head's face, and then the head will ask to be put back on the horse. Or no, the head will motion like with eyes and a little toss of hair to be put back on the horse.
She'll nod her head. Whew, that was scary. And she'll kind of go over to the horse and put the head back where she wants.
I forgot to mention, when you're near the horse, you feel a slight chill.
Ooh, spooky.
At this point, Blythe will hand the body of the dead Boggin to Azalea. I think that's how you spelled
Yep.
it.
Correct.
To be taken to the Baroness.
She'll have a dinghy brought down, lowered to put the body in. And for
Vital.
anybody else who wants to go up.
Blythe will place the body in there, and then she'll actually get off of her motorcycle and then take one of the handlebars, and basically she's leading her horse back down the stairs.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars.
Well, considering that the other thing that I was about to do, if I didn't have to save Ian's life, was dictum the entire building's security cameras to forget about us, but I now can't do that. So yeah.
Oops.
That this is an oops moment. We now are in possession of our first oopsie daisy. Let it ring forth throughout the land. We have achieved oopsie daisy.
Yeah, no, 'cause you guys got to remember, we're still on a college campus here.
Mm-hmm.
But Kim, let me know what happens first. Myself and Austin being able to talk to the Thalane, or Ian re-emerging from heaven.
It'll take them about 30 seconds to reach the ground via hopscotch.
As he touches down, Ashran will very calmly look at the Gilly-Doo, and he will say, "Now then, would you mind witnessing something for me?" he will look and he will point and he will say, Troll, what is your name?
He'll answer.
What's the answer? Thane the Grey, you owe me your life. Acknowledge the life debt.
And he will give his oath. Another oath.
Very good. Is there an actual oath of
his
owing life
strength
debt?
increases.
Oh God, I've made him more powerful.
Not
is
for
there
long.
is there an actual oath of I owe you my life or you saved my ass?
Yeah,
I know there's a vampire boon.
pretty sure it's I think there is, actually. Let's see if I can find the oath section.
Burden, guardianship, true heart, long road, cross fades. No, there isn't, but you can easily make up your own oath.
Yeah. He will recognize stupidity and yada yada. Give one. Yeah.
Very good then. We'll work out what that is like. Again, it's not a big deal. As Ashton kind of
Although looking at his famine, you swear he just pumped it up.
phrasing is what made that 10 times better. Thank you, Ian.
It's like that was almost worth it on its own.
Now, my boy, he will say as he walks back to the what was it, the beastie?
Mm-hmm.
He will walk back and he'll say, "What have you been doing this evening?"
I've just been walking around and teleporting.
He'll nod and he'll say, "Lie to me again, and I'll cut out your tongue."
Oh, come on, man. I was just trying to go about my own business, and then these all people broke in and ruined it.
He'll look over at Thane and he'll say, "What has this nasty little creature been doing this evening?"
I'm not nasty. You're nasty.
And he'll tell him, as far as he knows, he runs a thumb across the neck of and says of our friend.
Oh, my. So you killed the Boggin girl.
I don't have to tell you nothing.
He'll
You
nod
don't
and he'll
have to
say,
tell him anything. I saw it.
I need to check something. Kim, or somebody else who may be able to get to the book quicker than I can. Is rank 4 sovereign dictum? Is that weird or chimerical?
I got the book open. Give me a second.
Weird.
It is weird.
It's
Evan,
I'm literally staring at
he wasn't trying to interrupt you, by the way.
Oh no, that's fine. I was just
It's
wondering if I can. That's cool because I'm currently out of glamour, mostly because we will have to sit down and talk about what freeholds do at some point in the near future. But he will tap his finger under his. He will tap one long black fingernail under his ruby lips as he says to. He'll turn to the ghillie doo. He likes the ghillie doo, and he'll say, "What would you have done with him?"
The ghillie doo crib is going to eye the beastie. These aren't my lands. My rules don't apply here. I would give him, present him, the one who rules.
He'll nod and he'll say, "Beastie, you have a choice. Are you listening?"
He just huffs as the answer.
You can either go to the House Ilunid Duchess or the House Ilunid Baroness and ask for her mercy, or contemplate, swaying his head back and forth, back and forth. No, I suppose we're trying to build good relations, aren't we? I can ask for leniency for you if you'd like.
Whatever you do, he'll get me out eventually, so I don't care.
And who is he?
He just sniffles a couple more times.
Now then, there is a third option, he says as he holds up his hand. We can always forget we ever saw you.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I said we can always forget we ever saw you.
He is gonna, Gilly-Doo is gonna look over towards the Baylor. Memory comes with a steep price. The woods never forget what happens.
Of course. Nor would I expect the woods to forget without suitable efforts made to replant them. After all, many more trees may remember many more things.
Well,
So-
what would you want?
I want to know who this he is.
He told me not to tell anyone, though.
Now then. Once again, I've got calming presence, so this is even freakier. He'll smile as he leans in and he says, "You can trust me. You can always trust me." What kind of roll do you want me to make for that? Because that is such bullshit.
I'm gonna need about tree fitty.
350? God damn it, monster!
Yeah, that's probably Manipsa.
Can I get somebody to roll me 7 dice? Possibly not Brett, because I will end up, I don't know, botching so hard they'll have me shipped back to Arcadia.
No, I'm totally for Brett rolling for you.
7511737.
Holy crap.
You get 3 successes. Time to roll for this dude. Who only gets a success. So he just kind of, in a very quiet, little whispered voice, says, I don't know, you seem trustworthy, but he gets really mad when I talk about him. You promise you won't tell anyone else, right?
He'll say, "Not only will I not tell anyone else, but I'll keep you safe from him. Remember, that's what we knights do."
Okay. His name is Keldanath.
Is there some role there?
I mean, he's not lying.
No, I mean, is the name a name of any importance, or?
Not that you know of.
Okay, in that case, he will smile and he will say, "Very good. Now, what fate do you want?" He'll hold out his hand. Do you want me to protect you from Kelvinov, or do you want me to simply forget about you?
Forget about me.
He will turn his back as he says, Avalanche, make me forget about him.
Like code word, just kill the dude.
That is code word for snap his neck.
Bruh.
Do I start riding my motorcycle really fast?
Yeah, Brett, you kind of start riding your motorcycle really fast.
Okay, from over at the building, you guys hear a.
I'm going to look at the. I'm going to just look at the Shrike and I'm going to say, if you're going to eat, you better do it fast.
Bruh.
That would be fucking amazing.
Oh, bother.
Do it, Ken! Do it!
Okay, so
Wait, no, not the avalanche hitting me in the head part. That makes no sense.
Huh?
No, nothing. Sorry, I thought we were all laughing at the whole avalanche hit Evan's tune in the head. He said make him forget, but that's not how that works. Not my skull.
So everybody who's currently watching, they see Avalanche. She's already holding the boy. Oh man, come the fuck on. See him just kind of lift the kid up even higher because he already had him pretty high up, holding him by the collar of his shirt. The young man doesn't really realize that anything's wrong.
As he is being lifted by the crazy big ogre. I'm not involved in this.
Not my circus.
I don't know what
monkeys.
happened behind. I don't know what happened behind my back with a foreign emissary.
So, as
Oh, sorry. Just important note, Kim. We're very obviously, because I've been talking about the oath of secrecy and all this for this entire game. We're gonna just make sure that we're not doing it right out in the middle of the public thoroughfare, because that's dumb as muck.
Okay, so Healer walking into an alley.
Kim, how many back alleys do we fight demons in? They exist everywhere.
I guess.
Kid goes in an alley. I'm out. Nope.
And by alley, I mean like this little kind of walkway between two buildings.
Deuces.
Probably where a bunch of trees are.
So, what are we doing on the roof?
I think Heller all getting on the boat.
Yeah,
Azalea's getting ready to unleash.
You guys did just all of a sudden, from your vantage point, you see she's on the bike and she is riding right towards where they are.
Azalia hasn't seen that, but yeah.
I guess Veda, she's like climbing up onto the boat. She'll look down at that, just kind of quirk the eyebrow, but then climb on.
Yeah, y'all just see the ogre just kind of walking away with the young man.
Well, she'll look at the woman, who's the owner of the ship. What do we do now?
Time to make the computers and cameras here forget.
Oh?
Oh yeah. There may be a bit of glamour flowing about, so you may want to just be careful. And she's getting ready to unleash dictum on the electronical and people that may have seen anything that they've done, specifically in this building. Somebody driving a motorcycle across campus.
Yeah. Okay.
Sovereign unleashing you.
Uh-huh.
For the love of all that's holy, don't botch.
Nothing could go wrong. But please don't watch. Um,
Well, she could also overflow.
which would also not be good.
Well, I have 2 dots in Sovereign, so I have a little leeway on how much I can fuck up or do really well.
A little bit. Okay. So,
Oh, that is
so just to really describe what's happening right now, we have the Headless Horseman zooming across on her bike towards the ogre. The ogre is very kind of, not really happily, but he's just kind of like, you know, the the orc peons from WoW, just doing my job. Do.
Zug, little Duke. Work. Work is the poop.
Yep. Just kind of walking towards this back alley. And then we have the captain on her ship about to unleash. Because unleashing takes a little bit. We're going to come to that in just a moment, okay? Unleashing is scary.
And beautiful at the same time.
I mean, yeah, because you're using Sovereign, but anyway. So, the ogre had a bit of a leeway, and they weren't too far away from the corner of a building that he just kind of walks over towards. It's probably one of the college buildings where classrooms were. It seems to be closed down for the night because it is late in the morning. And Brett, you get there as the ogre lifts his massive hand up and just kind of grabs the beastie's head in his hand. And then there is a sickening crunch as the ogre twists his hand, and the beastie's head goes at an unnatural angle.
So the name?
Samson.
Mortal name. I thought I had to call the mortal name.
Yeah, that was Samson.
Okay. So once more, eerily beautiful voice echoing through the dreaming, Samson, and then chill and silence.
Kind of looking across at the Gilly-Doo, Ashran will yawn and he'll say, I'm slightly hungry. I was led to understand that there was a decent vegetarian restaurant near here. I assume you're vegetarian. Or is that cannibalism?
The
I've never
Gilly-Doo
really
has, like, as soon as the ogre took a walk, turned his back and was like, nope.
Just walked away.
Just noped out of that.
Blythe is going to start riding through normal means back to where the Baroness was.
Mm-hmm. I think Project Baylor is also going to kind of, start bimbling away. Bimble, bimble.
Okay. Into the unleashing we go.
Yeah, she draws her sword, mostly just for aesthetics. Kind of raises it up as if she's making a command to like her crew. And the very simple phrase is just forget. Her implication is for the cameras and people to forget what they saw tonight here on campus.
Okay, give me one little moment. Because, yeah, it's kind of right. It could be either sovereign or chicanery, so let me read over that.
Well, I do not have chicanery, that's why I chose sovereign.
That is like straight out of chicanery unleashing effect.
There's actually a way that My character could handle this.
I guess it depends on how you're doing it. You could
Because
essentially.
Dictum says you can use it on inanimate and animate
Yeah.
people and things and non-sentient stuff. So
Mhm.
But it's more about the forgetting.
Yeah, like if I was going to command the building, how I was going to do it was I was going to command all of the footage to be erased. So I was thinking about it from a technological perspective as opposed from a kind of a metaphysical forgetting perspective, I guess.
Just want to point out one thing. A completely abandoned university. Like, are you saying abandoned as in no longer in use, or nobody in it?
Both. Like, you guys were going through there. Didn't. Oh, yeah. Hell didn't see any.
So the
cameras or
building,
nothing like
there
that.
would be virtually no security in the building.
Unless there's
Also-
security cameras there that they kept on to keep vagrants from going in there and
Yeah,
defecating.
but
just
there's also the cameras on campus.
yeah, I know. I'm just pointing
Catching
at that on the building itself. There should, at the very least, be a severely lessened amount of security, wouldn't there?
There's still
There's
going to
not
be
some-
the.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Kim.
There's not so many in or on the building itself. They are around and on the surrounding buildings that are still in use. Some of which are pointed towards, not exactly at the building, but you guys are like walking in through the front. And
But
get into the
wouldn't that
building.
also lower the actual difficulty of it, because there would be far fewer than if we were in an actual active building?
Unleashing is a static difficulty.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
I don't know. It could either be chicanery or sovereign, from what it looks like.
Well, she talks to her ship, so she considers talking to technological things just like talking to a person to her. So that's where I was coming from. Recall though, you said we have to use this ones that we have Dotson, and I have Dotson Sovereign and not Chicanery.
Yeah. And sovereign did say it inanimate objects and whatnot.
Maybe never tell of this night
Yeah.
because you're giving it a command. You're
Oh,
giving
yeah.
a command
Never tell
as
of this
opposed
night.
to
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to erase a memory. Because sovereign is commanding, so that might
We can
be
go
better.
with that then. Never tell of this night.
Just don't mess up.
Yeah.
I won't.
You can go ahead and roll.
It's glamour plus 1 or 2 nightmare.
Permanent glamour. You get 1 nightmare rating automatically, and it is permanent glamour plus nightmare plus your new nightmare rating at diff 7. Page 196.
Do I spend a willpower to make sure it goes off? And risk
That
overdoing
could
it?
backfire horrendously.
It could, but it could also save our ass, or my ass.
It's up to you, honestly.
I'm gonna go willpower free. And I have a fail. I knew I should have done that fucking willpower.
So what happens when you fail on unleashing? Banality trigger.
It also goes out of control at the GM's discretion. Does it? I think.
No, that's
that's
if you
only
get
if
more
you
successes
overflow.
than your.
Yeah.
That's if you.
Oh, thank God.
Cannot spend glamour
197.
arts for the remainder of the scene.
Yep, and it's a banality trigger.
And that's willpower?
Glamour diff
Okay.
8.
Timer did it.
It's a banality trigger, which is resolved by a glamour roll difficulty 8.
I have 4 successes. I'm fine. And she will look tired and get on her ship and prepare for them to leave.
You gonna be alright?
Sometimes the magic doesn't like to cooperate as much as you'd like. And it takes a bit out of you.
Guess that goes for anything. Well, guess that we should head back to that Baroness. You guys kept referring to her as that?
She is a Baroness. And she has a body to deal with.
A body? Oh yeah, right, that. Sorry, I had a character, I got confused there.
The thing is that
Yeah.
I could actually do something about the security system, but nobody's made a point of telling Boy that they've screwed up on fixing it, so she's not.
Blythe drove off and was downstairs.
Yeah, I know, but it's like somebody could have been like, well, maybe somebody else could help. Never mind.
Blythe was already gone.
Plus, I'm naive as shit.
That's true. I have to remind myself to give you guys Blythe's phone number.
And we will sail off to Baroness's. Deliver said body.
So, I'm assuming everyone's heading over to the Baroness's place?
No.
Well,
Tane's going to go report to. I sent you a Facebook.
yeah, I saw. I don't know. I'd kind of say at this point, you do kind of owe Evan your life, and he's probably going with. Are you, Evan? Are you going to go see his Baron or the Baroness?
First, I'm going to see the Baroness to be utterly shocked and horrified at the state of affairs in Leinster, because, good God, not only did I have to basically say, not only was I not able to protect the Ashit this evening because of one person's stupidity, but everyone just apparently goes breaking the right of ignorance left, right, and bloody centre. Kim, we may have to do another scene tomorrow. There's going to be a list. There's a list.
Well, that's fine. I'll get the snark ready.
Excellent. That's all I ask. But no, the way Ashran sees it is the troll has sworn that he owes me a life debt. I may call that life debt whenever I see fit for, a purpose. So it's probably just like a boon.
Okay. So as everyone goes off into their different ways, the ogre probably just gives the body to the Ghast. And the Ghast is pleased. So y'all don't have that body to clean up.
Nom 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 nom. I'm going to assume that we just leave it like we go to the car, we pull down the little shades in the car because of course we have little shades. We just sit there and we'll give her 5 minutes.
Well, she's not going to eat the entire body. She's just going to eat the internal organs.
Ah,
Yeah, whole
excellent.
still have a hollowed body to dispose of.
What is the quality of the fur?
He was not in his woofy form.
Dang.
You cannot skin the. Oh my god. Okay. So everyone except for Ian's character goes to go visit the Baroness.
Hey, Evan's character just saved his ass a little bit more now, because with him going to the Baroness, Tane gets to go save at least a tiny bit of face with his Baron. Because at least the Baron will hear it from him instead of somebody else.
But you gotta remember, this Baron is from House Dougal and spends all of his days in the forges with the knockers. He's got a temper.
Yeah, but
The knockers don't stop swearing.
But I'm sure his anger would be a lot more if he heard it from somebody else than Tane himself.
little bit, but not by much. So,
I did save his face, save face a little bit.
so there will of course have to. So yeah, so our anti-heroes go out into the moonlight, back to the Baroness's house and back to the Baron's
Yep.
house. Things are decent, and that is where
Oh.
we shall end.
I was just gonna say that en route the armor and the weapon go away and back to wearing the dress. That's
Sounds good.
Go
So,
in to the Baroness and doing check-in.
beautiful. So we shall end this here, and either tomorrow or Friday we can have the follow-up scene where everyone speaks to the Baroness.
I am actually going to ask Azael if she can just drop me off somewhere and be headed home. So, okay, cool.
Awesome. So, okay, addendum. Everyone goes their separate ways. Some of those separate ways are leading to the same place. We may never know, for we are changelings, and somebody might get dropped off into a nightmare realm. Who knows? Maybe that'll happen Friday. Anyway, thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin.